Come on in, guys. Let's have some fun. Come on in, guys. Hit the like button as you come in. Let's talk about it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. What up, guys? How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? What's up? It's a beautiful Sunday evening. And today we are chilling. We're going to talk about some Xbox news, about some PlayStation slander. Yes, how are you guys doing? Let me just give some shout outs here in the chat. We have the first one that came in, Gun Griffin, big time supporter. How you going, man? How you going, Gun Griffin, man? Yeah, buddy. Let me see if I can make Gun Griffin a mod. Could I make Gun Griffin a mod here? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Okay, I have to make him a mod later. Then we have Xbox Best Box, who is formerly known as Anonymous Boss. The artist formerly known as Anonymous Boss is now Xbox is the Best Box. Yeah, buddy. And then we have Yataza. Yataza, what up, man? How you guys doing? We have Skid Slayer. What up, man? Iron Mike says, people call Freddie Wayne everything but a child of God. But the result found proved him right. Pro is only 16 teraflops. Then we have Leaf Storm Blade. That's a Pokemon reference there, man. Leaf Storm Blade. Right? Companies are not optimizing their games properly. Dragon's Dogma 2 looks like a joke and isn't really graphical impressive at all, yet was awfully made. A lot of companies have traded quality for UE5. Yes, Professor Strong. This is a sickness. It is a sickness, Professor Strong. What up? We have there's a delusion of grandeur. What up, man? What up? Welcome, guys. Hit the like button as you guys come in. We have so many things to talk about. I mean, it's not even funny. I don't even know where to start, guys. So here what we'll do. We'll do this first. Let's just get this out of the way. I'm seeing currently that the Xbox is on sale. I'm seeing the Xbox is on sale. As you guys could see here, the Xbox Series X is on sale. They would have slashed $50 off if you wanted an extra Xbox Series X. Now is the time. Only $450. Good stuff. I mean, this is just in time for the season. We know Indiana Jones coming up. We know that Stalker 2 is coming up. So persons who wanted to experience those games the best way possible, no doubt the Xbox Series X would be your way to go. So yeah, this is something I wanted to point out. There were other things I was supposed to point out about, the Xbox, but I don't think I put it onto the card. We have Backstrap Man Otaku. What up, man? What up? Welcome. Right? So that's the first news that we have today. We know that the buckle that was the Astro Bot. I mean, when Astro Bot released not too long ago, the PlayStation community would have hyped it as the Mario killer. They said it was the best platformer they have ever seen. I mean, even some reviewers said it made them cry. I saw Jeff Keighley would have, tweeted about 85 times about Astro Bot. So one would expect that when the sales actually come out for Astro Bot, it would blow everyone's minds away. Because think about it. If this game was really a big seller and really a top of the notch game like Mario, it should sell, equivalent to Mario sales. So when person said that Astro Bot was it, I was expecting, given that PlayStation 5 has 65 million shipped in the wild there, I am expecting some okay numbers. I mean, I'm not expecting like, half, which is 25 million persons bought Astro Bot. I'm expecting at least, give me a 8 million, give me a 6 million, because again, they are the ones who hype this game up. Well, it appears that it did not sell all that well. And here is one guy who his fans are pointing it out to him, right? Here we have MBG.
Steven, you're saying
His fans is pointing out to him that that Astro Bot did not sell well, although he is saying that it did. I mean, a lot of news outlets out there are saying, Astro Bot smashed it, but we know the truth. Look at this. Listen to this. Let me load on the background music.
so. Steven, you're saying, dude, just loaded up Ghosts. Man, on my monitor, it looks night and day. First test, we'll test more. Good shit, man.
So yeah, I mean, some of his fans are trying to convince themselves that it's night and day with PlayStation 5 versus the PlayStation 5 Pro. I could guarantee you this, it is not. Don't fool yourself. Don't try to convince yourself this is the reason why I spent $800 for this game. No, let's be real and let's be honest. It's not night and day. It could be, let's say, night and dusk. That's the difference you guys are getting. You guys are getting the difference between 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's the difference of the PlayStation 5 Pro and the PlayStation 5.
You think Astro will have a long tail? I hope it does.
Yeah, and these guys are saying Astro Bot would have a longer tail than Burmese python, right? These guys are saying Astro Bot would have one of the longest tail in the animal kingdom. That is what they are saying.
I hope it does. Yeah, I still want. I want it to do even better. Carlos, you're saying 1.5 million copies is way too low for a PS5 exclusive. That's like 2% of the PS5 user base.
And that was my point in my video this morning. I mean, I did the calculation, and to be exact, selling 1.5 units from 65 million consoles is only 2.3%. You heard me correctly. 2.3% of PlayStation owners bought Astro Bot. Let that sink in for a bit.
I mean, I guess. I think what needs to be understood though is that like how many copies of similar games, similar games that have released on PS5, like 3D platformers, how many copies have they sold?
I beg your
PS5?
pardon.
Like, how big is that audience?
I beg your
PS5?
pardon.
I mean, I understand what you're.
What is he asking? He's asking. Let me rewind that. I don't understand what he's asking.
That audience on PS5. On PS5.
Listen to what he's saying here.
Released on PS5, like 3D platformers. How many copies have they sold?
He's saying that you have to how to say judge it based on other 3D platformers that was released on the PlayStation 5. This guy is crazy. You hear what he's saying to try to justify that $1.5 million sale? Come on.
On PS5. Like, how big is that audience on PS5?
Well, according to ponies, some ponies said that Astro Bot sell more than the first Astro Bot sold more than 40 million because it came with every PlayStation 5. That is where it came from. So from selling 40 million units, according to the ponies, to selling 1.5 million copies, no man, that ain't looking good.
I mean, I understand what you're getting at, where you're like, because it's a PS5 exclusive, it should sell better, but it's a pretty different type of game than what Sony traditionally releases as as their like.
Yeah, but Sony chose to do that. Come on.
System. I don't know if you want to call it a system seller, but a lot of their exclusives are meant to be like big juggernaut system sellers that really like, whoa, win people over.
So yeah,
I mean, I understand that if we're comparing how Astro Bot has sold to like,
to like what?
Some of the big hitter games that Nintendo sells exclusively for their console, I understand that it's like, yeah, they're not comparable.
You see, now he's saying they're not comparable because initially they said this game was better than Mario. I believe Christopher Dreng said that it would have beaten some Mario sales or something like that. Now he's saying that here what? No, you can't really class Astro Bot with Mario from Nintendo. Now he's backtracking. Now these ponies is backtracking after the sales from Astro Bot. This is a very shameful state that it should be in because they boast and hype this game up to the roof. Now look at it. 1.5 measly. Starving. Come on.
Some of Nintendo's games are doing insane numbers. I don't think Sony would be foolish enough to assume that like your first proper mainline Astro game on console is going to do that. I think this is just the beginning. And I think honestly Sony is willing to I think Sony doesn't really care in the case of Astro Bot that much. And what I mean by that is like I don't think that they put a lot of pressure on this game, man.
Hey, welcome Jean-Marc Lewis. Jean-Marc Lewis. What up, man? Vince, what up? Welcome. Yataza, welcome.
I think they view it as like a necessary mascot platformer that they want to try to grow in a significant way in the coming years. And as long as it doesn't like aggressively flop where it's like it only sold 100K units, if it didn't do that, I think Sony really wouldn't care that much. And I imagine, again, I think the fact that they announced the number is all you need to know. Sony doesn't really announce numbers for their games.
All of a sudden, Sony don't announce numbers for their games. I recall when Spider-Man broke a record, they announced the numbers. They were happy to do that. When God of War broke some record, they were happy to send out the numbers. Now Sony don't announce their numbers. Get out of here, man.
Announced how many units Astro Bot sold in 2 months. That tells me that it did what it needed to do for them. But again, I would like to see it do more, and I'm sure Sony would as well. But I want to point this out. I have to do it. I got to do it. Please humor me for another moment, if you will. Couldn't help but notice on the internet when these Astro Bot sales came out.
Yeah.
a lot of people that pretty sure at one point or another, at one time or another, that these individuals would ask you the question, but why do you care about sales?
Hey, Kareem, what up, my brother? Yeah, hashtag get out of here, man.
Why do sales matter to you? You're a gamer. Enjoy the games. Why do they matter? Seen quite a few people on the internet who...
You know what's funny, guys? Here, what's the funny thing? As you guys come and hit the like button, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. You know what's the funny thing? Astro Bot sold 1.5 million units. But guess which game has over 30 million? You listen to what I'm saying, huh? Guess which game, before I click on the game, guess which game has 30 million pre-installs or you know, it's on their wish list. It's a PlayStation exclusive. Let me see if the chat could guess which game I'm going to show you guys. These ponies did not buy their first party banger, but they are going to buy this third party game, and it's a type of a sketchy game at that. Do you know what it is? Let me see if you guys how good you guys are. Okay, I'm not seeing nobody making any guesses, so I'm going to show you guys what game is going to do so well on the PlayStation 5. Look at this game here. And I mean, while I was looking for topics, this one shocked me here, man. So the ponies did not buy Astro Bot in droves. But it appears that they are going to buy Infinite Nikki. This game where you dress up as a girl, as a flower girl, and you have like animals that you play with and so forth. Yeah. These guys love dressing up in floral dresses and singing to their animals. And so this, look at this. Infinite Nikki will be the next big thing on PlayStation. You understand what I'm saying? Hear what it says. If you have not been keeping up with Infinite Nikki, no, we have not been. Listen to me. I am not even thinking. Listen to me. This is the last thing I'm thinking about. The dress up RPG. Wait. What did they just say?
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Let me read that over again. If you have not been keeping up with Infinite Nikki, the dress up RPG, which already has over 30 million pre-registrations. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing this? So we have Astro Bot, a first party banger, right? Trying to make a new mascot for PlayStation. But these ponies are out here picking out their best floral dresses and preloading this game 30 million pre-registration. What's going on here, man? Could somebody... Where is Omar? Is Omar in the chat? Omar, where you at? I want to know what is going on here. What is really going on here, Omar? I need your help. Right? It goes on to say that this overview trailer shows help get you up to speed. The outlines the general storyline, returning character Nikki and her cat Momo. Wow. Her cat Momo have once again returned to the magical realm of Maryland, as well as the overall gameplay loop. The best way to think of this kind of blend is Genshin Impact style Savvy and Mario Odyssey. Your main objective is to collect What is this Whim? Whim stars by using your different outfits to navigate the world, using your different outfits. So are you saying that these ponies will be wearing like a summer dress, then they'll be wearing like a floral dress, then they'll be wearing what again? What again these girls wear? These bodices and these things. What is going on here? This is the game that these ponies are showing that they are investing their time and money in. Infinite Nikki, a dress-up dolly game. This is what I'm saying. This is why I constantly tell you guys. I say it all the time.
This is a sickness. It is deviant, therefore we don't want it.
We do not want it. I'm sorry, ponies, do not want it, but I don't know. You guys had a fine opportunity to make Astro Bot a staple, a main character, but instead you guys chose floral dresses. You guys chose summer dresses and is it bodices? Yes. Crazy work. This is crazy. So that is out of the way. Now let's look at some other news topics. Now, there are some articles going around that the PlayStation 5 Pro is one of the fastest selling consoles in the world. That's what they are saying. They are saying that the PlayStation 5 Pro is one of the fastest selling consoles. But for some reason, I'm seeing pictures like this going around. This console is selling so fast that everyone is what? They are practicing to run around the track and field to come and get it. What is going on with these consoles? These consoles should be sold out by now. If it is the fastest selling console, why am I seeing a Roblox stack of PlayStation 5 Pro in the middle of the store? Could somebody explain that to me? So again, the media is hyping this up. It is blowing it out of proportion. But what we know for a fact is that the PlayStation 5 Pro is not a professional console. It's very clear by what we are seeing. You see, the honeymoon phase is over when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro. Because as you guys would know, we would have seen a number of different, videos that shows very clear that the PlayStation 5 Pro is only getting about 5 frames or maybe 10 frames more than the standard consoles, than the Xbox Series X and even the PlayStation 5, its younger brother, right? And this is very, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. We have the first donor for the night. Let me put up the channel sponsor, Robert Jr. What up? Robert Jr. How you going there, man? Robert is saying, I would choose Twisted Metal over whatever that Nikki game was. Well, this is me, Robert. This is what these guys are going for. These guys are saying here what? They rather the dresses. I mean, I don't know, like the dance in like flower fields and so forth. I don't know, man, Robert. These ponies are sick. They love their dresses, man. Let me just shout out some persons. I have, is it IB12 Blue Marvel? What up, man? Robert Jr. What up? Welcome. I have what? How do you pronounce that name? Exlia or Axlia? What up, man? Welcome. What up, chick? Welcome. Yeah. So these guys are sick. Now let me say this: the evidence is showing that the PlayStation 5 Pro is not a major step up from, the PlayStation 5. And the reason why I say that is because of the different benchmarks that we would have seen over the week. Now look at this here, guys. Look at this. I've been watching a lot of these videos, and for some reason, the PlayStation 5 Pro, it is not doing what Mark Cerny said it's supposed to do. Because look at this here, guys. let's start off with the rise of Ronin. Are you guys seeing that? Let me raise the volume up. Look at this. Now, remind you, according to Mark Sony, the PlayStation 5 Pro, you should not have to choose between frame rates and graphics. That's what is the selling point of the PlayStation 5 Pro. You should not be able to choose. This console is so advanced, it is so powerful that guess what? You shouldn't have to choose between 60 FPS and the highest fidelity that we know. But look at this frame rate here. This is in performance mode, mind you. This is being up-res from, I think it was 1080p, the card said. But look at this.
Hey, you there?
Quality mode has a
Quality mode is even worse. So we saw it dropped to about 56 frames per second in that video performance mode. It's not holding a steady, locked 60 FPS. Now we are seeing quality mode. Is quality mode going to do any better? Let's look at this.
fixed resolution of 1440p.
Don't forget, guys, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe.
Dynamic resolution is a possibility. In this mode, the frame rate is close to 40.
So I'm seeing it dropped as low as 39 frames per second. This is the console that's supposed to last the next 4 years, and these current games are already breaking it. I don't even know why this mode, there is a quality mode. I don't know why, because what Mark Sony said is that they were trying to eliminate this quality mode and so forth. They was going to give you the best frame rates and the best quality. Now we are dealing with 40 frames per second. Look at this. This is crazy work. 43 frames per second. Wow. Wow. And this is what these guys are saying is the most powerful console. I can't believe that.
You there?
So far, we are seeing that the rise of Ronin cannot hold a steady 60 FPS, right? Now, whether this is a PlayStation 5 Pro, optimized or not, Mark Sony that says here what? This is supposed to be 60 FPS. But we are not done yet, guys. We are not done as yet, because there's even more videos that are showing that for some reason the PlayStation 5 Pro is struggling. Right? No, this is the wrong thing. This is not what I want to show here as yet. Let me see. Let me show Black Myth Wukong the video. All right, look at this here. So we just saw, look at Black Myth. Is Black Myth? Okay, let's look at Silent Hill. Let's look at Silent Hill here. Are you guys seeing that? So the quality mode for Silent Hill, I believe they were looking at 30 FPS. So at least give me a locked 30 FPS. Why am I seeing drops in the PlayStation 5 Pro? Even 29, 28. Why? And to be quite frank, Silent Hill 2 is not a graphical, how to say, it's not like Horizon. And yet still, this game is still dropping, it's not locked. But there's more. Look at the regular mode, look at the performance mode here, guys. Look how these numbers are dancing. It's trying very hard to stay at 60 FPS. I'm seeing 54, I'm seeing 50 on the PlayStation 5. What separates these two is about 5 frames per second. Now let me ask the PlayStation community in the crowd this. Is $200 or $300 worth 5 frames extra than the PlayStation 5? It's playing this version here so much better with 5 FPS more than this one? Let me know. Because I'm very confused as to why this is even a thing, right? So far, the rise of the Ronin could not hit and keep a locked, 60 FPS. We are seeing Silent Hill 2, that too is struggling when it comes to hitting 60 FPS. So let's see if we could have another game that would hit, even a strong. Let's see what Sony has for us here, right? Because I'm really, really confused as to why, this game cannot hold 60 FPS, according to what Mark Cerny said, right? Look at this here. So we have Black Myth, we have PS5 Pro. Okay. So yeah. So it appears, based on everything that we are seeing here, guys, that these games cannot hold. I mean, even Digital Foundry would have said a lot about the PlayStation 5 Pro in their review. I mean, they would have said that, the consoles, it struggles. It struggles when it comes to holding, that solid frame rate, right? So let me see if I can get this Digital Foundry post here, what they said, because I'm finding it very difficult to believe what I'm seeing here, right? Look, we have MBG licking his PlayStation 5 Pro.
Now I gotta lick it.
You see what's going on? You see what's going on there, guys?
Clipped. I just got clipped.
You see what's going on
Why
there,
did I
guys?
make the sound though, man? Why did I make the sound? Like the
This
sound,
is
you know?
a
That's
sickness. It is
But,
deviant, therefore we don't want it.
Let me show you this here. Let me show you what Digital Foundry said here. Digital Foundry would have said this about the PlayStation 5 Pro when it came to why it's doing what it's doing. Is it here? This is it.
So we can confirm that Game Boost isn't just boosting graphics performance. You are getting that 10% of extra CPU clock. The other test I did, and this one is for a Pro enhanced game, and that is Baldur's Gate 3, the classic city run. Act 3.
Big time objective gamer. What's up? Hey, big time. I have to get you on the show, man. I have to get your input on some. This is here is a PlayStation fan. He's not a fully transformed pony as yet, but he's a PlayStation fan. But I need to ask him some questions. Maybe we could get him on a show one of these days. It's good to have that discourse between myself and PlayStation fans. But listen to this. Big time objective. Why is Baldur's Gate bringing the PlayStation 5 Pro to its knees?
We've got a save that's like 100 hours in, and we can actually do a run through the city. And you can see that on the left there, the base PlayStation 5. On the right is...
Look at this. Look at this. We are seeing 36 frames per second on the PlayStation 5 Pro. On the PlayStation 5, and 38 frames per second on the PlayStation 5 Pro. And this is a game that is optimized for the PlayStation 5 Pro. But yet still, Baldur's Gate 3 is bringing this console to its knees.
Is the Pro enhanced version of the game. We're still CPU limited, and you'll see that similar to Cyberpunk,
this is dropping as low as 37 frames per second. That's amazing.
Performance differentials are again in line with a modest bump to CPU clock. So, Oliver, I think this is probably the primary limitation. I mean, a lot of people are looking at PlayStation 5 Pro thinking, should I give up my PC or should I stick with PlayStation and not move to PC? And I think the defining limitation of the Pro, which we've got to accept, is that even mainstream CPU performance now in the PC space is significantly better than the Zen 2 in the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Guys, this game dropped as low as 34 FPS. As low as 34 FPS. when we told these guys that here what this, because of the CPU in the PlayStation 5 Pro, it will not see major, how to say, frame rate increases if the game is CPU heavy. But these ponies still hyped it up. It's the most powerful console in the world. It's the most powerful console in these galaxies. But yet, Baldur's Gate 3 is bringing it to its knees.
So you've kind of got to accept that limitation with the Pro, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a mid-gen refresh console, so the emphasis is obviously not on some of those more kind of fundamental areas of the console design, I would say, like the CPU. But here, I mean, right now, high-end PC CPUs are about twice as fast as the PlayStation 5 Pro's CPU.
Wow,
But I think
wow. And these ponies had the gall to say that the PlayStation 5 Pro was better than a PC. I mean, I'm trying to understand what kind of drugs these guys are on.
we're seeing in most
Crack cocaine, that's what they're on.
titles nowadays that target console hardware is that basically they are mostly delivering 60 FPS. Like, I don't think we're in quite a cataclysm of games that are failing to hit their performance targets on console. I think most games are basically there, plus or minus some stutters and issues like that. But obviously in titles like Baldur's Gate, obviously in some more CPU limited games, like you mentioned with Cyberpunk in certain areas, you do run into some problems, and there the PS5 Pro will not save you. It might be.
Let me give this shout out, Mr. Glass, Big Time Objective, Crazy Old School, what up? And Victor, what up, man? All of you guys, welcome. Hit the like button as you guys come in.
Good for an extra 10% of performance.
Kareem.
But it's not going to. It's not going to save your performance. It's not going to be that kind of generational leap in CPU performance that would actually fix those problems.
Well, that's what the ponies are saying. The ponies are saying that this game is a generational leap. That is why we are. That is why it's the most powerful console, right? Look at this here. This was also some big news this week.
On Xbox.
Look at this.
Yo. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. I can't wait for Death Stranding 2 on Xbox. Oh, she can buy it now. Oh shit.
So this week, Death Stranding 2 was launched on the Xbox Series X and S. Was now available on Xbox Series X and S and Windows PC. But this is what was kind of surprising by many. 2024 Sony Interactive Entertainment Inc., Kojima Productions CEO and Hideko Kojima, right? Published by 505 Games. This was very interesting because you see, these ponies were out here saying that, you know, Sony is not bringing any of their games to other platforms. Let me just get Robert Jr. here. Robert, thank you, my guy, for that $2 super chat. Robert is saying, and I thought the PlayStation 3 era was the worst. Buddy, me too. Me too. But look at this here. They are saying that that PlayStation, that Sony has no affiliation with Kojima. Then why is Sony named here? If Kojima bought 100% of this game and Sony has nothing to do with it, then Sony name should not be here. But it's very clear that there is a Sony name on an Xbox platform. That was very interesting this week. When it is, you know, we saw that news. Look at this here.
What
This
a way
is
to
even
start
more
the
interesting.
morning, huh? Game is ready. Game is installed. Let's go.
What up, Xbox, Best Box, formerly known as Anonymous Boss? What up? Welcome, man.
Let's see now. Let's see now.
Yeah, this is crazy work here. Sony Interactive Entertainment presents on a Xbox platform. This, are you guys understanding this is on an Xbox platform? And these ponies were saying, here what? Sony is not copying Xbox. It's very clear what Sony is doing. They need the money. Talking about needing the money, we also heard that Sony would have had their Q2 financial update this week, right? And the PlayStation fans are boasting that they did so well. They killed it. Everyone is buying PlayStation and so forth. But do you know what saved the PlayStation this quarter? Take a wild guess. What saved PlayStation this quarter? Well, based on what the president of Sony is saying, he is saying that what saved PlayStation was this year. This is what saved PlayStation. Let me show you guys what saved PlayStation this quarter. Let me show you guys what saved them. This is what saved PlayStation. Sony points to Black Myth Wukong success in big PlayStation quarter after Concord disaster. So, isn't this interesting, guys? Because of what Sony did, which was they would have made this deal with Black Myth, it paid off massively for them. So now they are incentivized to continue money hatting, because guess what? Black Myth being just on the PlayStation and on the PC really benefited them, because remember, PlayStation had nothing. They had Astro Bot, but that didn't move the needle. They had other third-party deals that didn't move the needle. But this breakout hit here, which was Black Myth Wukong, this did a lot for Sony. Sony video game business saw impressive growth during the most recent financial quarter, boosted by sales of blockbuster action game Black Myth Wukong. That more than made up for the disastrous launch of Concord. Wow. So Black Myth made up for Concord disaster. Isn't that something? Sony's Game and Network Services GNNS division, which includes PlayStation, brought in $1 billion, well, over $1 billion in yen, approximately $7 billion during the second quarter of the financial year, July to September 2024. That's a significant increase of 12% year over year, said Sony. Profit tripled in to 138.8 billion yen, which is basically 911 million US, up a whopping 184% year over year. So this is what Black Myth Wukong did for Sony. Those positive results were good enough for Sony to raise its financial year forecast for its gaming business. Sony said the boost to revenue came from the increase of sales of non-first-party games, including added-on content like microtransactions, as well as the impact of foreign exchange rates and an increase in sales from network services, mainly PlayStation Plus. Sony gets a cut of all sales of the PlayStation Store and, of course, generates revenue from sales away from the platform, such as Steam. Dragging those sales down, however, was the continued fall of the PlayStation 5. So right now, the PlayStation 5 is still, falling from its previous high, just as what was predicted when it comes to the hardware, right? It goes on to say on the operating income side, Sony said it has seen an improvement in hardware profitability. Typically, consoles are sold at a loss, as well as the aforementioned increase in sales of third-party games and network services. Sony said another 3.8 million PlayStation 5 during the quarter, down 29%. So apparently the PlayStation console was down 29%. Isn't that something? So Black Myth Wukong, a non-first party game, saved Sony. And it's very interesting that now Sony is given an additional incentive to continue to money hard and block games from coming to Xbox. But right now, Microsoft is playing a very strong game. They have a lot of games in the pipeline. So no doubt, persons who are on the Xbox platform have a good bit of games to play in the near future. But let's talk about a Sony fan. And I saw this story and I just had to laugh. I really had to say that the PlayStation community is one of the sickest community out there. Because when I saw this, I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. Look at this here. This is Dreamcast Guy. And notice what he did here. So I'm not going to play the entire video. I'm playing it from halfway. And let's listen to Dreamcast Guy as he talked about how he don't like how the PlayStation 5 Pro is going and what he did to his gear. Look at this here.
At making games for it. I'm curious how long people have had PlayStation 5 Pro dev kits, or if they just gave them specs to hit the PlayStation 5 Pro benchmarks, but let me go to that. Okay, what that actually means for games up to each studio to some degree. But in practice, many developers are boasting that you no longer need to choose between the smoothness and fidelity. You can have your cake and eat it too.
That's not true. We just proved that there are many how to say games that were on the PlayStation 5 Pro that did not hold a 60 frames per second gameplay. It dropped significantly.
With 4K-like graphics and 60 FPS. At PlayStation 5 Pro's preview event, I told you I knew that it wasn't strictly accurate. With only 45% more rendering performance, some graphical compromises are still being made. Yeah, well, we knew this was going to happen. Before it came out, I am glad places like The Verge asked the hard questions because, hey, this isn't just some cheapo piece.
It's crazy how some persons are hyping up all of a sudden 8K 30 FPS when I know these guys was talking all sorts of smack when it comes to playing a game at 30 FPS. All of a sudden now 30 FPS is good because it's 8K. Isn't that something?
Piece of impulse buy thing. It is a very, very pricey system. The fact that it is still having to choose, it is still weird to me a bit that so many games are still going to run at 30 FPS on a $700 console, but
yeah, a lot of games are running at 30 FPS on the PlayStation 5 Pro. And persons just they are ignoring it and they are saying, wow, this is the best console ever.
Let me keep reading here. But after spending several straight days swapping back and forth between the original PS5 from 2020 and the new PlayStation 5 Pro, testing over a dozen games, I think there's something to that best of both worlds claim. In every title I tried, while sitting no more than 8 feet away from a 65-inch TV, the PlayStation 5 Pro was clearly the better place to play. So this is one of the things that people have been the most curious about. It actually boosts even PlayStation 4 games.
Look at this, guys. Look at the big difference.
So this is part of the new AI upscaling thing where it actually boosts the quality of individual.
Guys, look at the big difference in quality, in visuals. This is a big generational difference. Wow. These ponies are eating good with these visuals. Look at this, guys. Look at this. You can see there are 3 more flowers in the back there. We can see how the light, you could basically feel the warmth from the light out of the screen. This is amazing. The PlayStation 5 Pro is making you feel warm on a cold night.
Lighting individual textures, it ups the resolution, it ups the quality. That does look much, much, much better.
Wow.
Not to a crazy degree, but enough where I'm like, okay, that's pretty rad. I'm definitely in a spot where the more I read about the PlayStation 5 Pro, I want it
It's a
to
money
be
grab.
more exciting than it is. I mean,
Grab.
my PlayStation 5 is already $500, right? A PlayStation 5 Pro being $700. I guess I expected it to be, 20% better, and this definitely doesn't look 20% better.
Let me just get Yataza there. Yataza, thank you for that $2 dono, man. Yataza is saying critics were right. PlayStation 5 Pro can't hit 60 FPS on Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, I mean, the Unreal Engine 5 would be an issue for PlayStation 5 because of the CPU.
Okay. The thing is, my couch isn't 8 feet from my TV. It's 12 feet. Too far to tell the difference between PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro because those details melt away. I could just barely make out the difference at 10 feet sitting at the edge of my seat.
Correct.
The big exception I've tried is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. While I can't see all the visual improvements leaning back on the couch, Rebirth definitely looks like the most improved game on the PlayStation 5 Pro, no longer forcing me to choose between distractingly choppy frame rate and annoyingly blurry visuals.
So persons are saying that Final Fantasy 16, this is the saving grace of the PlayStation 5 Pro. This is what is getting persons to buy the PlayStation 5 Pro. I mean, a lot of persons would have already played Final Fantasy 16. I mean, to buy the console just for that, I'm not seeing it. But I'm not seeing a major difference when it comes to the Final Fantasy 16, right?
New PlayStation 5 Pro exclusive versatility mode that offers a cleaner picture without those muddy options and also makes it have visible distance changes. Interesting. I could see some Final Fantasy Uber fans picking up the console purely for this. I actually already did see some of my really hardcore Final Fantasy friends, especially some of my friends that are Final Fantasy YouTubers. They've already decided, all right, this is worth it for me. Most games don't have this much of an improvement though.
So just remember, guys, that Dreamcast Guy, he is very, how to say, lukewarm when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro in this video, right? He's not feeling it too much because he's saying it's just a little upgrade from the PlayStation 5. Keep that in mind, right? Because what he's going to do next is crazy. Or say next.
Let's click that for a second. Yep, that definitely does look better.
However, I believe some ponies, they use Photoshop and they make it look drastically worse. I've seen that on Twitter.
You shouldn't expect the PlayStation 5 Pro to necessarily improve graphics in a way you might prefer. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's open world still does that pop-in thing where plants and bushes appear just as you're about to run into them. Alan Wake 2 still can't keep Detective Casey's sideburns and facial hair from strobing in and out of existence. Speaking of Alan Wake 2, this is one of the games that gets the most PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced because of its new ray tracing mode. Now, we took a look at this. There were some leaked pictures of this. You can see in the mirror how much better this looks. That's great, but an article as well. And they talked about the fact that the PSSR, the extra frames, the smoothing out of certain games and stuff like that is great. But I kind of wanted to see if any games passed 60 FPS. And they do talk about the fact that some games do have 120 hertz modes, but I'm a bit...
Based on what I'm seeing, I think Spider-Man is the best game for the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's the one that I've seen it done and looked a bit different, not by much, just with the reflections.
Let down by this. I don't think it's bad, but I think this is one of those things where it is such a pinnacle luxury item. A lot of people that bought a PlayStation 4 ended up getting a PlayStation 4 Pro. A lot of people that got a Nintendo Switch, I do think a decent amount ended up getting the OLED Nintendo Switch. I think this is the new market, right?
What up, Justin J? What up? Welcome, man. Hit the like button. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Let's see if we can get the likes up to, let's say, 60. We're looking for the 100 likes.
Those optional tiny upgrades. This sounds like a very tiny upgrade, at least without a microscope and a whole kit. But I'm going to be getting a PlayStation 5 Pro here in a bit. It's going to be delivered today, I think around... I don't want to say what time, but I am having a PlayStation 5 Pro delivered today. Big, gigantic thank you to my girlfriend. She bought my PlayStation 5 off me for $500. So I only had to pay $200 for a PlayStation 5 Pro. So thank you, baby. You're a queen. She's never really played.
Dreamcast Guy said that he was able to convince his girlfriend to buy his used PlayStation 5 for $500. That is basically the price of a brand new PlayStation 5. And this guy took that money from his girlfriend. So if Dreamcast Guy could do this to his girlfriend, I mean, what is this guy going to do to his enemies?
Y'all smoking crack. Something is wrong with you people.
Yo, this man charges
played PlayStation 5 ever in her
This is
life. She's
crazy.
never played any PlayStation, so she's going to buy my PlayStation 5. I'm getting the Pro so we can play Baldur's Gate 3 and stuff together. But man, oh man,
it comes like he's coming to the realization that, you know what, I think I'm a scumbag for charging this girl $500 for the PlayStation 5 and it's used. But you know what's the best part of this video, guys? The comment section. Look at the comment sections here. Someone is saying here, the first comment is, dude, selling a PlayStation 5 with no warrant for full price to his girlfriend. Must be love. You see, imagine being a YouTuber with 240 subscribers and shaking your girlfriend down for $500 so you can get a PlayStation 5 Pro. Dreamcast Guy is ruthless, diabolical work. Hey, hear what this guy says, right? NGL, I like watching your videos, but charging your girl $500 for a used day one OG PlayStation 5 is just wrong, dude. Just give that to her and take her out as a gesture of sincere. Wow, these guys are saying here what? This guy is a villain. Bro is a villain for selling a used PS5 for retail price. Dreamcast Guy, next video. My girlfriend broke up. Hey, admitting you sold your girlfriend your own PlayStation 5 above retail is diabolical work, bro. I hope she leaves you. Hey, this comment section, man, they are ruthless. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. Hey. His girlfriend for $500 for second-hand PlayStation 5. LOL, crazy. Charging your girlfriend is actually disturbing behavior. That's your girlfriend. Like maybe charge $150, but full retail price, disgraceful. You know what? This chat is ripping Dreamcast Guy apart because, rightfully so, how could you charge your girlfriend, man? This is supposed to be somebody you're close with and so forth. You charging this like if it's a bro, like if it's your friend, your girlfriend is getting, okay, the end of the stick. You should feel ashamed to scam her. You charge your girlfriend $500 for a used PlayStation. Listen to me. This is why I say the PlayStation community is sick. They are sick and they are out of control, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of the stream tonight. I mean, we had a good time. We had a few news here and there. Let's see what next week has for us. We are at the 1 hour mark. Let me thank Robert J. Let me thank Yataza and all those in the chat. Xbox Best Box, Backstrap Otaku Guy, Deadly, what up? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you are not. Lunar Games, let me just say a shout out to Lunar Games. Victor, let me say a shout out to Victor. Big Time Objective. All the guys who are in the chat supporting, thank you. This would not be possible without you guys. So, I'll see you guys next week. God's willing. Don't forget to put God first and mankind after, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.